Okay, here we have Sergeant Tummalo. She is a sergeant first class in the Texas Army National Guard. How long have you been in, Sergeant Tummalo?
I have been in for 13 years now.
Okay, and what is your MOS?
So my MOS right now is 79 Tango, which is recruiter, but my previous MOS was 68 Whiskey Combat Medic.
Okay, and do you serve here locally?
Yeah, so I serve right here in Temple, Texas.
Okay, at the base there on this same road?
Yeah, so I serve at the Armory off of Airport Road.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So what are your plans in the Army? Do you want to remain a recruiter, or would you like to move on to something else?
So right now I'm staying recruiter, so I'm actually the 2IC, which is the boss on the team of recruiting. So my next step is to take over the bigger boss on the recruiting team, and then eventually I'll be the sergeant major of Region 2. That's the goal. So my next step is going to be E8, and then eventually, because I still have about 10 years left, is to be the command sergeant major of Texas recruiting. That's the goal.
That is a lofty and worthy goal.
Yes.
So can you describe to me some of the obstacles that you face as a recruiter as far as getting people to join the National Guard?
Yeah. So our biggest obstacle right now is that MET, where you join, can see everyone's medical history. So that's our biggest obstacle right now, because they can see everyone, which disqualifies every single person. So it used to be we can get somebody in the military within 2 weeks. Now it takes about 3 to 6 months because everyone gets disqualified. So whenever we talk to an applicant, we basically say, okay, get ready to get disqualified. You're going to go get MEPs, and you're going to get disqualified, and then we're going to get a waiver, and then we'll get you in. So the old process of getting somebody in 2 weeks doesn't happen anymore. The other biggest obstacle is the ASVAB. Nobody can score over at like a 15 on the ASVAB. That's always going to be our biggest obstacle, because the kids now, they can't do math without a calculator. But yeah, they just can't score enough to qualify to get in. So between medical and ASVAB, we just can't get them in. And nobody wants to serve their country anymore unless you give them. You got to keep giving more and more.
So education and physical condition are really big hurdles that have to be surmounted when someone wants to join the military.
Yes.
So the military still does have very high physical and academic standards.
Yeah, so I would say at least 50 to 70% of the high school kids that we recruit have been on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication within the last 2 to 3 years, and that disqualifies all of them.
Wow.
And that was due to the COVID restrictions. So when they got pulled from school, when they came back to school, all of the doctors put them on some sort of anti-anxiety medication because they couldn't cope with being back into school around people.
So what motivated you to become a soldier?
So I was one of the ones that couldn't pay for college, so I had to look at other avenues to pay for college because I didn't want to pay for it, and my parents were going to pay for it. So I signed up, I started college, and then I said, nope, I don't want to do college. So I went from part-time National Guard to pursuing it full-time 3 years in, and I've stayed active duty National Guard for the last 9 years now.
How do you like being a recruiter?
I love it. I've been in the recruiting command for 10 years now. I wanted to share my passion for the National Guard with other people, so that's what I've done. I turned it into the normal cycle of recruiting as a 3-year stint, and I've turned it into 10 years, and now I'm a boss on the team, so I think it's great.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Sergeant, for your service, and I appreciate this interview very much. I'll share it on my YouTube channel. Thank you.